welcome to my Meet the Horses vlog. I've been asked to do this for quite a few weeks now, and lo and behold, it is finally here. I've decided I'm going to do it in a slightly different way to what most people do, and I am going to start with the youngest pony, the one I've had for the least amount of time, and we're going to work up to the horse I've had for the longest, just because I feel that is probably going to be the biggest section to this video. I hope you guys all enjoy. Please remember to like if you do like the video, maybe leave a comment and hit the subscribe button. So this first one I'm starting with over here, this is little Twiggy. So the competition name that we came up for her was Twizzle Stick, which I think is really cute. She has just turned 4 this year, so she was born in 2016 and is currently standing at 132, so 1 meter 32 centimeters. And she actually came to us as sort of a +1 with my husband's horse. They were sort of she was sort of a rescue, and she'd really bonded onto his pony, and so we just felt as though we couldn't separate them at that point. I'm not really 100% sure what we're going to be doing with her just yet. She's a little bit annoyed at the minute because Jet's just gone out for a walk. Come here. But she has some super movement. She is really sassy, and I'm hoping we will find a nice career for her. See if I can lose this. That's when backing will start, because I'm a little bit on the chubby side at the minute. I would squish her. And breed wise, it is unknown. Her passport says, well, unknown Dartmoor Hill pony, but obviously you can see by the breeding and the colouring around her muzzle and her eye area that she certainly has Appaloosa in her somewhere. But because the breeding is unknown, we can't really go down the showing route all that much with her, other than doing potential sport pony. So really we'll just see how things come, see what she wants to do, what she enjoys, and take it from there. At the minute she's just a little bit of fun. She is also sort of a companion, so if we take 2 out, we've not got something left alone in the field. So that is Twiggy. Jet, and Jet is actually my husband's horse. We believe him to be around 6, and again we sort of think he's Welsh cross Frisian. He was a rescue case. He's still quite special, aren't you? I'm not going into detail about his past. It is a horrific past and probably one of the worst I've ever come across, but I don't feel as though that is necessary, actually sharing everything that went on. So I am not going to be riding him. Videos won't really have much to do with him, but I just felt as though, can you come here please? Look. I just felt as though he will end up being sort of behind the scenes at times in videos. I'll take my fingers off. And at least then you guys sort of know who he is, and that he's not just some nobody in the field, because he's not. He is still very special, but he's, as I said, my husband's, not mine. So we're now moving on to Beluga. His competition name is B Beluga. He is actually about to turn 5 tomorrow. So if you have any ideas on a birthday party to hold for him and what sort of video footage you'd like to see from that, pop some ideas in the comments below and I will look at doing a vlog of his birthday party. So here he is just turning 5. He's registered as an Irish sports horse, but down his dad's side it is full Oldenburg, and his mum's side it is Holstein and Thoroughbred. So I don't really know why he's registered as Irish Sports Horse, but he is. So his father is Balloon, and I will insert a picture in now for you. And then his mother is Cougar Lizzie, who I haven't actually seen the mum. I'm still trying to see if I can find some baby photos of him. So his story and how I came to having him. A friend of mine actually had bought him with the idea of me producing him and then possibly sort of selling him on, and I became co-owner, and we then found that he actually has a problem with his hocks. He's got quite weak hocks. There is sort of a bit of an injury there, but I'm not going to go too much into detail about that. But what then happened is the owner sort of decided that they didn't want to keep him, so I was given the option of either I can have him or I can sell him. But due to the breeding and that sort of issue, I just felt if we sold him on really cheaply, he would just get passed from pillar to post, or someone would jump him into the floor and absolutely wreck him. So he had about 6 months off just in the field, allowing him to develop a little bit more. This was actually at the age of 2.5. And when we brought him back in with the idea that right, we would start looking towards work, we got the vet to come out again, re-x-ray. We found out that he had actually developed a little bit of arthritis. So my view with him really is he's allowed to have a happy life, be a horse, enjoy what he does. If he gets to the point and we pop him over a jump and he's unsound the next day and unsound for a couple of weeks, that's it. He never has to jump again in his life. If he jumps, enjoys it, and his legs are fine, well then maybe we'll try in a week's time again and see how we go. Very much whatever he's happy doing, whatever he's sort of sound doing, I'll do. And I am very aware that he may be with us only for another year, or at least working wise another year. It could be 15-20 years down the line, we never know. I had to get some more carrots because I've sort of lost him right now. See? Come on. But he is such a lovable horse. Everyone that has met him absolutely loves him. He's got such a sweet nature. To think when we first got him, when he'd come over from Ireland, he had to go out in the field with a head collar on, with a rope tied to it. Well, actually that made no difference. We couldn't get near him, you couldn't pick up his feet, you couldn't do anything with him. Grooming him was difficult, you couldn't get past his shoulder. He was so timid about everything, and now he is just a big soppy dope on the road. Absolutely love him. And like I said, I will share all the breeding and some of his relatives with you now. So it is a bit heartbreaking that he probably will never get to any point like that, but life is what it is, and so long as he's happy and healthy, that's all that matters. Her competition name is Newtown Beauty, and she was born in 2003 by Aaron Flight out of Drumgonalas, I think it is. So she is registered as a Irish sports horse, so mum was an Irish sports horse, but dad is full-blood Connemara, so she does tend to move very much like a pony. She is actually standing at 15.3, and yeah, as I said, she was born in 2003, so 17 this year. We're now looking at doing some veteran classes. It's really hard work, Blanco. So some of her nicknames are Nanny Blanco, because she tends to be the one that takes out all the baby horses if we have anything with training, or if friends are wanting that horse that will just give their horse a little bit of confidence, whether it be going out cross country or whatever it is really. She ends up being that pony that is just so steady on her feet and acts as a perfect nanny for them. I've also got the nickname of Blanket, which actually came from a friend who's at the yard where I got her. So what a lot of people aren't actually aware of is Blanco is my first horse. When I was living in South Africa, I had horses that I'd sort of had on loan or that people had allowed me to ride for them, but I was never in the position to be able to afford to have a horse of my own. And so Blanco was then the first horse I ever bought myself. I first met her back in 2013 when I was working at a massive riding school, and she'd come in from the dealers. And to start off with, she was absolutely super in the school. Wasn't much of sort of an experienced horse in that. Looking at her, I'm sure she's had foals in the past, so I don't think she had done much in terms of a riding career at that point. But she was very honest. She was quite responsive off the leg, actually almost too responsive for what a lot of riders were used to, and ended up having a little bit of a holiday just because she'd worked so hard coming in. And what I believe is she must have slipped or something in the field, pulled a muscle, but aggravated an old injury to her hind leg. So she came back into work napping, absolutely terrible. They couldn't work out what was wrong, and she was going to go back to the dealer. But I absolutely loved her character and just the horse that she was, looking sort of on the other side of all these bad habits of trying to kick instructors and bronking constantly and head vertical in the air and all of that. So I took her on trial just to see if I could try to work out what was going on. My husband was helping me at the time. He's done equine physio, so he was looking at it from that point of view, and we soon realised that she was starting to move better with the correct groundwork going in. So I decided to buy her. She was very much a project, but a project for me rather than a project to sell. I wanted to see if I could help her out, and again, rather than her be sent back to the dealer and just be going from pillar to post all the time. So to start with, where in the riding school she was quite responsive in the beginning, what used to happen is people would give her like a pony club kick to ask her to move forward. She'd jump forward with them not expecting the response to be that quick, and consequently they'd pull her back in the mouth because they'd lose balance. And from that, when I then started working on her, every time you just squeeze gently with the head, with the leg, her head would jolt upwards and almost smack you in the face, because she was expecting you to pull her back at the same time. So the work, can we come back here please? The work started off on the ground, trying to get her using her body better, loosening up all the muscles, and we spent a few weeks like that before I decided to get back on. Then getting on, again we were working the walk for a long time before we started the trot work, and I think it must have been about 6 months until I properly picked up on the canter work again, with her really having one much stronger side compared to the other, again due to whatever this hind leg injury was. I don't know what it was, I don't think we'll ever know, but there is clearly a bit of a weakness there. I'm trying to eat my hand. And then once we started establishing the canter a bit more, we eventually started jumping, and to start with the jumping we were just smashing through them, so it was a long process of just trying to build her back up and really get her to not be thinking that everything is bad and that every rider is going to yank you back or boot you in the ribs and that. And even to this day now, I tend to have it, if I do let someone else ride, they've got to ride in a very particular way, and if they don't ride her correctly, she will either not go anywhere and just plant herself, or she'd take off with him. But that's her telling them that, well, you're not listening to me and you're not riding the way you should be riding them. So with her then being my first horse, she is actually the one that took me to my first affiliated BE competition. It didn't go too well. The video's already up. It's from Rackham Horse Trials. I'm back here. And yeah, on paper, well, I think we were eliminated, but I was absolutely over the moon with her. The fact as to where we got to, and actually that goes for all the results. I think we took a couple of runs to actually complete the event fully, and the dressage still wasn't that great at the time, but it has been such a learning curve, and every step of the way she has progressed, and I'm so thrilled with her because of that. I was really hoping to get her out again this year. We were looking at dropping her. She's not been out really since I think it was 2017, and that's due to us moving house, moving yard, and a whole range of other things that have gone on in our lives. But I was hoping to get her out again this year and actually drop her down to the 80 and aim her for Burley. She's also the one that I do a bit of Western on, and she absolutely loves it. She might not be as speedy as some of the others and doesn't turn as quickly around barrels, but it makes a bit of a change in what we're doing, and I really feel as though that shows in the work that you do with the horses. It means they don't get stale going around a dressage arena all the time, or hating jumping because you're doing a day in, day out. When I am jumping actively, I will maybe jump once a week because I want her to be going, oh, jump, yes, let's go, rather than, oh, not this again. So it's then the same thing when I pop barrels out, when I get the lasso out and we start like roping things on the yard and that. It's all to keep it fun, to keep it different, and we spend most of the time out hacking anyway because she enjoys being out there. Really good stretch for her legs. And yeah, that's pretty much the story about Blanco. Come here. She is such a special horse. And again, I think she has touched the lives of a lot of people that I've come into contact with just because of sort of what she is, how good she is with things now. Yeah, she's my baby.